Good morning and welcome. This is Traci Garr, and I am reporting this morning from Surrender on Substack. Welcome back. Thanks for listening. And I didn't want you to think I forgot about this because I didn't. I've just been having some technical difficulties. I wanted to get a microphone so that you could hear me a little bit better. The microphone on the computer works fine, but it also has times when it goes in and out. So I thought, well, I'm going to just go ahead and buy a microphone to hook up. So hopefully this works. I tried it once at the beginning of the week and it did not because I didn't have it on the correct audio setting. Anyway, you didn't necessarily need to hear about all that, but I wanted you to know that I am still joining you. I figured I would do this definitely once a week, maybe more than that, but definitely not every day. So don't expect a podcast every day. I'm having a hard time. No, I'm not going to say hard time. It's been an adjustment. Just, getting used to a new home, new area, new job, although I love all of those things. And just having the time, managing my time well in the morning, because I'm one of those people that just wants to do it all. I wake up and I want to have my quiet time. I wake up and I want to, of course, with that, have my coffee, and then I want to do some reading, and then I want to scroll a little bit and check out social media, make sure I didn't miss anything. And then I want, not that I think I should do that every morning because I probably shouldn't. And then I want to, exercise. And of course, now I've added this. And, sometimes it's just hard to fit all those things in and then drive 30 minutes to work. So, with that being said, happy Friday. You know what? Fridays are not easy because it's the end of the week and we are drained. But you can do this today. You can do this. Now, I'm still making that commitment that I said I was going to make from the very beginning, that I am not going to rehearse this. And this is hard for me. Anytime I've done any public speaking, anytime I've prepared for any lessons, whether it's been with children or with adults, I have been prepared. And it's not that my brain is not prepared this morning to speak, because it surely is. I always have something to say. However, will it be fluent? Will it be not rambling? Because I don't want to ramble. So I'm doing my best here. And I hope that you appreciate this message of encouragement. And I don't know if you noticed that there is a picture of a butterfly. And that picture was taken last year when I took students in York City on a field trip to Hershey Gardens, to the butterfly atrium. What a beautiful experience. And, this time of year, we talk about the butterfly life cycle a lot in school. It's part of the standards in Pennsylvania for science. And it's really cool to actually get the caterpillars. You can order those and get a little cage netting and watch them turn into a chrysalis and then emerge into a butterfly, and then we release them. So I'm not part of any of that this year at school, at least not yet where I'm working, but I will say that I've been thinking about it a lot. And I've been relating that to something that just keeps coming to my mind about trusting the process. As I look to my own future, I'm trying to really practice what I preach about this, taking one day at a time. It's not just a cliche saying, it's really true. The way that we will be happy, the way that we will experience true joy, is to literally take our lives one day at a time and put this day, the hours of this coming day before God, and say, Lord, I ask that you make me an instrument of your peace. I ask that you keep me safe and that you help me to be a blessing to others. As I said in one of my other podcasts, help me to look away from self and not be so introspective to the point where it steals my joy. Help me to be kind and loving to others and patient. Even if that was easy for me at other points in my life, maybe it's not as easy for me right now, and it's okay. You don't have to feel badly about that. And trusting the process. We've heard that many times, right? I mean, that's something that, I've watched little snippets, people speaking on that or maybe posting on that. But there is an expected process that happens when we look at the life cycle of a butterfly. It's guaranteed. It's the way that God made it to be from the beginning of time. An egg is laid, a caterpillar comes from that egg, the caterpillar grows and thrives, and then prepares itself for a time of rest, about 2 weeks, as it's a chrysalis. And inside that chrysalis, a beautiful metamorphosis is happening, a transition, a change unlike any other. Because when that chrysalis opens up and that butterfly emerges, a creature of freedom and beauty is released. A creature that gets to explore the world in a way that they were unable to explore the world as a caterpillar. So as it is in each of our lives. Right now, at this time in your life, you may not know what you're going to emerge into one day, but God does, because He has a plan and a purpose for you that will be fulfilled. And we have to trust in that process. That means it can't go too slow and it can't go too fast. It has to go in its own perfect timing. And if we try to mess with that in our humanness, then we are going to mess with the process, which therefore will probably cause some pain, some discomfort, most likely not the full abundant joy that it could if we went with the actual process and the plan. So as you move into this day, I want you to, whether you see one or not, I want you to remember the change, the anticipated metamorphosis of the butterfly. And I want you to think about your own life and your own metamorphosis and what is changing for you, what will emerge for you. And this can be at any stage of our lives. Those of you listening who are older and you might be in, a season of your life where you don't foresee many more changes happening. Maybe you feel like, this is kind of the later season of life that wouldn't really be the same changes for somebody maybe that's in their 20s or 30s. And it's true. However, your lives are not over yet. And everything that you do from day to day still is part of God's plan and purpose for you. You still have time here to be a blessing. You still have time here to show God's love. You still have time here on earth to discern God's will for what is next. It's not over just because you're in your ages of retirement. So I hope that you feel encouraged, all of you today on this Friday. Think about this and know how much you're loved. I'm always going to end with, I believe and hope for everyone to know how much they're loved each day, no matter what happens, even if you feel criticism from others, Even if you didn't feel like you succeeded in something, please know that God's love does transform us so that we can feel at peace one day at a time, knowing that even in our failures, God is strong. He still is in control, and He is still working and moving in your life to bring forth those blessings and to bring forth His will. And it's not just for you, it's for all of mankind. It's for His whole world, everything. I'm praying for you. I'm thinking of you. I love you, and I hope you have a blessed day.